Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to make a quick video on a question that I get asked quite a bit. Question I actually had when I was first starting, and it was, what do I say to these sellers when I get on the phone, right? I think it's natural for us to want to know, what script should I follow? In this video, I'm not going to share a script, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to share the framework that I have used. What you want to practice is going through a framework for a call and practice those listening skills, because not all calls are the same. Everyone is different, but you want to guide people to the next step. So if you at least have that framework and foundation in place, the calls will go how you want them to go. Let me show you on the board. I like this quote from Jim Rohn. The major key to your better future is you. Okay, that's fine. All right, so let me show you the framework that I use for each call. We're just going to picture it as a baseball diamond. So if y'all are familiar with a baseball diamond, this is you. You're going to start here. And, I guess your seller is going to be in here, but there's something very specific that's going to go in here, so we'll wait to... So this is you at the very beginning of the call, right? You don't know anything about the property. You don't know anything about the seller. So maybe you can script out the very beginning, your introduction, your intro, and then you have your rapport building. So this is at the very beginning of the call. Now the first and the most easiest place to go to first base, essentially, is going to be the condition of the property. So this is usually the easiest thing you can talk about, right? Hey, Mr. Seller, how are you doing today? I'm calling about your property on 123 Main Street. And, can you tell me a little bit about the property? Or you want to get into a natural transition is to talk about the property. And typically what I like to do is I like to get a full picture and have them explain to me the property condition. So we'll start from the outside. And I'll say, hey, have you done any upgrades to the backyard? When was the last time the roof was replaced? Does the siding need to be replaced, right? You want to get an idea of all those things. So we're going to go into property condition. And we're going to talk about condition. We're going to just everything. We're going to go inside. We're going to talk about the floors, talk about every single room, what upgrades they've done and what upgrades they haven't done. Now, this is an important step. So when you go in, let's say we're talking about the kitchen, right? You don't want to say, hey, is there anything that needs to be done in the kitchen? Most people are going to say, oh, no, it's in good shape. It looks good. But what you want to ask instead is say, hey, Mr. Seller, when was the last time you upgraded those cabinets? When was the last time you upgraded the flooring in the living room? When was the last time you had those carpets clean? You want to ask those questions because they're more than likely going to tell you, oh, no, we haven't upgraded anything. And so the more that they can say, oh, we haven't upgraded, no, we haven't changed those things out, the more it's going to knock that price down eventually when you get to that point. But right now we're going to stick to condition. So we're going to hammer on condition. We're going to keep talking about condition, and we're not going to move from this step until you've kind of done your virtual walkthrough. The time we're going to start going to second base is when the prospect is that mentions the next step, which is timeline. So this question is when they want to be out of the property. So how soon do they need to be out? Next 30 days, next 45 days? Why do you need to be out in the next week? So this is important, but we're not going to move from condition until they hint at time, right? They say, we've been here for 40 years and we're just ready to move while you're talking in the condition, right? Does that make sense? So you're talking in condition, they say, hey, yeah, we haven't done many upgrades in the last 40 years, but I think we're ready to sell, and we're ready to move in the next month. Oh, okay, well, what's going on in the next month? And now we can shift from condition to timeline, and we want to figure out what their timeline is, why it is the next 30 days, and ask those questions. And now the last place that we're going to go is going to be the money topic. So this is when it comes down to how much they're looking for, why they want to get that price, what makes them come to that conclusion. Why did they choose 200,000? Why not 150? And this is where a lot of the negotiating comes. you want to get them to state a price first. You don't ever want to come out and say, hey, this is the offer we give you. And a lot of times on these calls, especially if you're new, and I mean, you still get people that do it, they'll immediately jump to the money stage at the very beginning of the call. Well, if you give me what I want, or I'm looking for this and I won't take anything less than that. Oh, perfect. So this is how much you're looking for. Okay, well, let's jump back to condition. And sometimes it is good to get that number, because sometimes people are not realistic. And once you have an idea of their number, you can start bringing them down through the condition. But a lot of times, if they start talking about money first, usually they're not really serious. And they'll say, hey, I want the most for my property. Oh, okay. And us as investors or as a wholesaler, right, we need to get that property as cheap as possible, so we can end up assigning that contract or buying it low and then fixing it up, whatever you decide to do with the property. So we can't pay retail. So usually my first thing that I say, if we get on the call and they say, I need the most for my property. Oh, okay, perfect. Well, why haven't you listed with a realtor? You know, they can help you get the most for your property. Oh, well, I just don't want to, I don't want to pay realtor fees. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Oh, okay. Well, you want to take mental notes, take physical notes too, but take mental notes of those things that they're saying. And then we'll bring that up. You know, it all comes back into a loop. And let me tell you what the center is, right? So the center is your seller, your prospect. But behind the prospect is the why. This is important. This is your key ticket to getting any properties, at a discount, because every single seller wants to have the highest price for their property. I mean, you sell a truck, you sell anything, you want to get the most for it. And if we were in that business to just give sellers the most for it, then we wouldn't have a business, right? So I know a lot of sellers, they'll sit here and tell me, oh no, I'm not taking less than this, or I know what my property's worth, I know what my truck is worth. But at the end of the day, this is why we do this, because this why needs to be bigger than the money. This why needs to be bigger than their timeline, and this why needs to be bigger than their condition of their property. And this is why we're going to get a discount for their property. Some people, I'm going to have a closing this next coming week. The seller bought their property, I think it was about 5 years ago, for $125,000. They had it on the market for $150,000. I'm buying the property next week for $105,000. Now you're asking me, how do you get a property that the seller's going to lose money on? Following up with this seller consistently, and I have been hitting this why every single time on the phone call. So they're taking a discount. And that's the game we're in. So you have to figure out what their why is, no matter what. So the condition, okay, well, why haven't you done any repairs? Why sell it? You're saying your property is so beautiful. Why sell that property? You don't want to go more than 5 sentences without kind of backtracking that why question. Always ask the why. Timeline. Why do you need to move in 30 days? Why do you need to move in 2 months? What's happening? Why? Why is that price important to you? What are you going to do with that money? And we always need to figure out this why. And the more times you ask it, the different ways you ask it, you will start to get beyond those initial layers, because most people are, oh, well, I'm just ready to move. I just want to move. They give you a BS excuse at the very beginning. So it's your job to dive into that. It's your job to figure out the why. And I guess, so this is the framework, everyone. I mean, this is what's been making me money. This is what's been getting me closing contracts, and this is what works. And so I'm sure you can script it out. If you are big into script out your intro, how you do your first 5-10 seconds, especially if it's a cold call. I know that's helped me out. What makes the sale is building that good rapport and trust and follow-up. I think those are the two major things. And you can't build rapport and trust without building connection and knowing a why someone does it, or why someone is going to move or take a discount. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this helps. I hope this brought some value to you. I'm going to continue my real estate journey. continue to get deals this year, and I hope to help you get your first deal. What I want you to do is take action. Take this information and put it into action. Put it into your next call and see if it works for you. And if it doesn't work the first time, again, keep giving action to it, and I'm sure you're going to get results.